Welcome. This is Joshua Benoist in Autodesk Product Support. So we're on video 15 in our series where we're talking about how to use Parametric Part Builder to make parametric multi-view parts. So let's look at the problem statement. Pause the video if you need to read that, and let's move on.
Alright, so let's go edit some parameters. I want to edit length A4. Calculator. Let's move him out of the way. So I want to be able to see these guys. Let's put him over here. Length A4, calculator. So I'm going to start off with the variable length A14. And then I'm going to go back. I'm going to put a parenthesis in here. Times 0.5 in parentheses. So that's half that length. Minus length A6, which is going to be a constant. So minus length A6. So this distance to here is always going to be half that distance minus this length constant. Alright. Okay, so we want him to be a constant. We don't need to use a formula for that. But we do need length A7 to be half of this vertical dimension, which is length A15. Okay, so let's do that. Length A7 is half of length A15. Okay. So I think that's formulated now. I think everything's pretty good here. Something to note, these descriptions right here, don't ever change them. They're automatically filled out, and it's how it relates, the computer relates size parameters to the model parameters, so don't change those. We can add descriptions, I believe, down in the size parameters. So now we need to fill out these size parameters. And let's go right click and let's say, start off with edit values. So you can see here that it's automatically filling out a lot of these values here based off of the values that we have here in the model parameters. If we change this from values to parameter configuration, this will start to tell you a lot of stuff. So here's the same parameters, RH1, RW1, so on. Let's talk about RH1. Right now it's set up to be a list. It knows that you're going to want to change and specify a range of values for that connector size. So it sets it to be a list type. Let's move down the list here. So the length A1 is set up to be a constant right now. We can change this to be a list or a table, but it defaults to constant. Length A2, we used a formula in the model parameters for length A2, and so it set it to be a calculation. Calculation means formula. Same way with A3 and so on. So anyway, you can kind of get a feel now for what that data storage means. Data type, is it a string, is it a number? What units is it in? Most of that stuff is grayed out, so you can't change it anyway, but you are going to want this to be true. I want to be able to change the connector value, the length and width. So we want those to be visible in MvPart Add dialog. Same way here, we want this to be true. So we kind of go through here and figure out which ones we want to show, which ones we don't want to show. length A1, let's go figure out what that guy is. I think this is length A1 here. So the length of that extrusion you may want to change. So let's go back there and change this to parameter configuration and make length A1 visible. And we'll just kind of go through. This one's a